start streaming here. I'll quiet on the...
It's the Jim Fannin Show. We've come to take your mind.
Am I still on? Fama at 8. Crestman Realty. Mute your mic, man. Is in the house. He's trampling all over my intro. Buckle up and welcome aboard. Tell the guest to mute his mic and then he tramples on your intro. Here's the Facebook page, the fake book page. I never say Facebook. Mario Dragos is my guest, and I'm going to play you a couple videos before we get started. I'm going to crop it a little. Well, it's not like his cropping, but just to give you a fuller screen here. This is a minute and a half from his Facebook page. What and why I do what I do here on social media, expat-wise. So the guy needs no introduction. If you're in any, well, he's got the biggest expat group, I think, on Facebook. By the way, Mario Dragos, you can share that right now if you don't mind from the link I sent you on WhatsApp. So I don't need to introduce him that way. He's going to tell us about like where it started. I know we've talked to him before, but maybe you haven't seen this side of the guy before, or maybe you don't know anything about him. So this will be a chance for you to get fresh with him.
AKA Jose Blanco.
Oh, and I lined it up. I'm going to just play a minute and a half of this because I haven't seen this one before. I see most of his stuff. I always like his stuff because the algos like it when you boost people. I usually comment, even if it's just stud or something like that. But I haven't seen this one. And then today it's at the top of his videos. And you know me, I'm a slacker. I really don't prepare for these shows. But I do have a this or that for Mario tonight. I've never done a this or that. I called it... What did I call it? I don't know why I called it. We're going to play a minute and a half of this.
Que lo que mi gente, my fellow Expatagonians, it's your boy Mario Fama, RD, a.k.a. Jose Blanco, pero no soy Banco. Coño, en eso yo voy a decir coño. Because you know what? I get some pushback sometimes, and obviously when you're doing stuff online, that's normal, right? But I want to tell you guys why I do what I do and what do I do, the thing that I do, what I'm doing right here with you guys, you know what I mean? There are a lot of us expats or foreigners, whatever, that are doing videos on social media. You've got the people that are doing all positive stuff, you know? Oh my God, the beer tastes better here, the water's better here, the sun burns me better here, everything's better over here. And that's great, and that's true. There are a lot of positive things about living here. That's why I'm here. I'm a Panamanian resident. I got my EU citizenship. I'm an American citizen. I can pretty much go anywhere on God's green earth if I chose to, baby, but I'm right here making it happen, you know what I'm saying? And then there's those people that are great at reading articles online that don't really know how life works here, but just read articles online, they translate them, and they tell you this is going on, but behind the scenes, it's a little bit different. Nothing bad, nothing good. good. You know what I mean? It's just like they're data crunchers and they spit things out to you guys, not from experience, but from data. And that's cool also, because cool data is cool. I like to see numbers myself. I follow that stuff too. I like to see the numbers. I like to see the actual fact, because I'm just like a meat and potato guy. It's like, yo, this is good. This ain't good. Yeah, you know what I mean? Other people, about 37% of the population of Russia, and then 12.5% of the escalation of the contemplation of the lack of concentration. Great, works for them, super fabulous, like it. I follow this stuff as well. I'm here to give people the raw insight into what it is for an expat living in the Dominican Republic. I'm a little different because the way I speak Spanish, the way I move, the way I am. And I've been through hell and back in this country. I've been coming here since 2024. I grew up with Dominicans, Colombians. I got 2 Puerto Rican kids in New York. I grew up with the culture. So it's not something I learned coming here, right? And I've had a business here. I've had businesses. I have a business. I've had more businesses, more offices. I've had a restaurant. I've had a bar in Santiago. I've been through everything, right? So I've been through hell, back, the good, the bad. I see the sunshine really bright that it burns my skin. And I see the fucking aguaceros coming down, and I share all of that with you guys. And I'm very well aware that it's 80-20. Everything in life is 80-20. 80% of the people seem to like my content, what I do. 20% just live there to criticize
I'm
me.
one
They
of
don't
the
like the way I look,
80%.
they don't like me personally, they don't like my message. Cool.
That's
I just
Mario
wanna say,
Dragos. You can unmute your mic. I was going to roast you while I was playing this video, and I'm going to save the other one. I'm going to save the other video until later. It'll be a good break for us when there's that awkward silence. Sorry. Mario Dragos is my guest. I'm going to put our video up so you can see his fetch. Here we go over here. Is your mute unmuted?
I'm here.
All right. Buddy, thanks for taking the time. Look at that big smile. Oh, I put it on speaker view and it's Zoom, so it's just like your teeth are 6 stories high. Hang on, let's get this back. Are you smoking a Cuban by any chance? Monte Cristo?
No, I'm actually smoking a cigar starts. This is my friend Julian from New York City. I just got this batch in from New York. He sent it for me. He's a Dominican dude that I've known for many, many years, and he has his own website, cigarstarts.com, and he sent me a batch of cigars right now, so I'm enjoying this. After a long day, I'm out here on the porch. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm in Cana with this beautiful marina view behind me, and I am having a cigar and a non-alcoholic beer.
Well, because
I've had like 1 drink in the last month and a half. So.
Oh man, you don't want to drink down here because I drink rum, I guess now, and it's not a good thing the way they pour them down here. Or they joke, oh, it's because the rum's cheaper than the Coca-Cola. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Good going in, bad going out the next morning.
So, anyways, we'll start at the beginning. You got 2 Puerto Rican kids. I was just checking that out. I listened to it the first time, and I missed it. I know we've talked about it before, but give me the whole Mario Fama, aka. Don't give me that. Just give me, yeah, exactly. Give me the story, not the line. The line's great, by the way. I fucking love it. I said to somebody, and I put this online the other day. You make me want to not broadcast because you're so naturally. You got a gift for it, right? And I don't see you reading in that 4-minute video where so I give it to you, man. It's tough to do, and it's not for everyone, and you do it well. You're entertaining, and
thank you.
I give props where props are due. So thanks for the entertainment, and just give us a rundown. Where did it all begin, and how'd you get here? And then we'll hit some specific topics. I know you got a lot going on.
Sure. Yep, and actually, I have so many videos that I have to do for you guys, and I try to get as much content in as possible. But I'll give you guys a breakdown of basically my story and who I am, because I think it's also important to know who's giving you advice, so you know where they're coming from, and then you know how to take that advice. You know, my advice might work for some people, for others it might not, based on who I am and where I'm from. So I was basically born in Romania in 1975. I immigrated as a refugee with my family in 1983 to New York City, and I'm basically 110% New York City. And one of the advantages that I had of growing up in Queens, New York, I don't know if you know much about it, but Queens is New York City is one of the most diverse, if not the most diverse place in the world, but Queens is the most diverse borough in the entire world. No matter where you are on planet Earth, you have a square block of people from your country there. So it gave me a really unique perspective because I grew up with the Dominicans. I grew up in Astoria with the Greeks. Then you had the Central and some South Americans down on 10th Street over there, or whatever the case is. You had the housing project. So you had the whole hip hop culture that I grew up with, you know, with all the people that you might have seen if you're my age and you grew up with hip hop. Those dudes were on 21st Street hanging out in Queensbridge, coming to Ravenswood, Astoria projects. So I got to see all of that. I'm probably one of the only people you might know that was there at like 15 years old watching El General on stage in a club in Forest Hill singing Muévelo, Muévelo, which was like the first, reggaeton song ever. So I've been with reggaeton since the day that it was born, right there when they were doing the club tours. You know, I was in the clubs in the city looking at Shabba Ranks, you know, Rockas, like reggae dance hall, if you guys know about that kind of stuff, you know, Super Cat, Shabba Ranks and all that. So I kind of was, you know, what was it, Pliers and all the reggae from back in the days. I was there, Bujubant and all of that stuff. So growing up in New York City, I grew up around tons of cultures. I'm in Astoria with the Greeks, hanging out with Dominicans, and then we're in Richmond Hill with the Guyanese and the Trinidadians. Wave your flag, wave your flag. Get on the big truck, jump on the big truck, you know, and all of that. So I had like so many different cultures mixed in. When I had hair, I'm aerodynamic now, but when I had hair, I used to get my hair cut at the world famous, you know, the Hut barbershop in Jamaica, Queens, by by the Coliseum Mall. So I used to see all the rappers come through there and all that. So I got a lot of different cultures mixed into one. My Puerto Rican kids, you know, my son, because Puerto Ricans used to be really heavy in New York before the Dominicans took over. So I got 2 Puerto Rican kids. My daughter's 20, my son's 30. So, you know, like I grew up with like a massive, you know, I met my son's mom. I met her at the Ukrainian hall, even though it's Ukrainians, but it was a reggae night, all like Jamaicans up there and everything. So it was just like, you know, you can imagine the culture, the different cultures that I grew up with, you know, hanging out with the Greeks, the Italians, you know, they got the Polish kids over here, you got the skinheads over there, you got those guys over there. It was a very diverse time in New York. And the reason why I'm able to talk, like I don't do scripts. I don't, you know, I might have an idea, it hits me, and I just go right off of it. And you can tell by the way that I talk that I'm not writing it out. I'm not like, you know, sitting there trying to like, oh, okay, let's get the board up and do this. I went to high school of performing arts, the Fame School. That's where the name Fame comes from. I didn't graduate, but I went there. I went to school with like Omar Epps, McKean Woodbine, Sarah Paulson that you see in the movies right now. She was my classmate. Macaulay Culkin's brother in the Home Alone movie. He was my classmate. You know, some of the guys from the movie Juice and stuff. So a lot of people you see on TV, I actually, you know, Omar Epps and Marlon Wayans worked my audition, and then they got me on. They tried to get me on freshman initiation because they were seniors and I was a freshman, and we were in the drama department. So you know, I went to that school. Fame, I'm gonna be there forever. So that's where I kind of developed all of that, doing, you know, monologues and everything. So it just comes to me. Like I just, you know, I like writing, like, you know, in my mind, I write like scripts and things like that. And then what ended up happening, because I grew up with Dominicans, when I opened up my first real estate office in New York City, I wanted to go on vacation. So they were like, are you single or are you going with a girl? I said, single. They said, Puerto Plata. So Puerto Plata, remember they did my class, Puerto Plata. I sometimes dumb it, like not dumb it, I sometimes like change it down to people so they can understand me. But I went to Puerto Plata and I had a homeboy from the block, and he was living in Santiago, and he was like, yo, I'm gonna pick you up tomorrow. He took me to Santiago in 2004. I don't gotta tell you, it was the Wild Wild West. I was like, oh my God, I do not want to come back to the States. So I started on that long path of trying to figure out.
Not the Wild West. It's the Wild West. The song is the Wild Wild West. It's not.
It was
talking points.
It was insane. It was insane. So I kept coming back, and yeah, that was what drove me. I kept coming back, and the thing is, like, for me, the culture here was not something that I discovered like when I came down on that trip. You know, when I was in my like late teen, like what, 18, 19, 20, 21, I was in New York City when the bachata songs that everybody's listening to right now were coming out. I was listening to them in the pool hall, brand new. You know, watching the guys in the Lexus GXs going through bing, 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 bing everywhere. So I grew up in that. I used to be at 148, 149th in the pool halls in the basements in Washington Heights, and I don't know what they call it now, Hamilton Heights or whatever. So I was there during that whole entire thing. So when I came to DR, yes, the architecture and obviously, you know, the wildness of it. But as far as like the music, the culture, the food and everything, it was something I was already used to. I used to go to the clubs and see, you know, Los Hermanos Rosario, and I used to see Yosca Sarante at the church up in Washington Heights on the Tarima there on Sundays or whatever, Saturdays when they used to have it. So it was not like a culture shock for that. You know, I grew up with all my boys with Dominicans growing up. So I already was like, okay, cool. This is where everybody's from. And I kind of blended into that. And it took me a while to kind of get to this. In 2010, with that same friend of mine, I opened up a bar, and that was my first business experience in the Dominican Republic. I ain't got to tell you how it went. I didn't lose any money, but I gained a lot of experience. But ya tú sabes. So after that, him and I kind of, split ways, and I just started coming back by myself. I traveled to Costa Rica, Puerto Rico by myself, and just kind of like, I started coming here by myself. I went to Santo Domingo by myself for Christmas in 2015, and just kind of hanging out. Just I didn't have anything to do. I was just walking around meeting people. I'm just outgoing. I don't care. I'll go to a bar. I'll go anywhere. I'll go to a bar club by myself and just talk to people. So that's pretty much what happened. And then I met somebody. I bought two apartments. Sorry, I actually bought two apartments from Joanne from Remax. It was great in Sosua. I don't know you know her. She's awesome. I collaborate a lot.
She's one of the first people I talked to when I got to town down here. And if there's anyone I know I'm getting a professional with, and there's a few of them. There's a bunch of them, actually. There's more than you think because, realtors get a bad rap in any country, but especially this one with no regulation. So she was one of the first people I called when I came to town because I grew up in the Remax system. My mother was manager of the year at Remax Garden City multiple times. Wayne Quirk owned and operated in Niagara region. He had like 5 offices or something. But our St. Catharines office, so just try and tweak our picture here. Our St. Catharines office had 75 agents, man. And that was back in the day when realtors hung around together. They drank together. They went to parties together. They had affairs with each other, tons of them, you know what I mean? And, that died a long time ago, that synergy of that office where everyone hung and got drunk together and partied together and did lunch together and stuff like that. I don't know what happened to that culture, but it went away. Thank God. I don't know. It probably wasn't the healthiest culture, but no, we used to go to like board events and stuff on tour. You had 30 people going on caravan, you call it in the States and stuff like that. And then things change, and down here, it's so easy to say realtors, aren't reliable and don't show up on time. Whether you're talking about a local realtor, like a Dominican realtor, or an expat down here, because there's tons of expats down here practicing real estate. Many of those expats, though, have licenses. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Joanne is a licensed realtor in another country. I can't remember where, but it seems like all the good ones.
She's from Canada, yeah.
Is she from Canada? Well, it doesn't surprise me at all.
She's Canadian, but from England, I think, originally. Yeah. Boy, she's Canadian.
No, straight up professional. And Sophie and her partner, Rob, I think it is, she's in Jersey. I think she holds a license. And a hell of a marketer as well. But I've had nothing but great experiences down here with most of the people. But it's easy to give them a bad name because you don't need a license, right? Anybody can be a realtor, and anybody can pretend to be a lawyer too and take your money and then really screw you over. So I know you've learned a lot of hard lessons down here, and that's already with me 2 years in down here. Like when somebody I got the guy for the car rental, I got all of it because I've been through it all. I've got the electrician, I've got the painter, I've got the contractor, the guy that'll do the plans, the building inspections, and the city hall work and stuff like that. And I know that that's, so powerful and such a powerful resource when people come down here, right? So I know you learned the hard way. You're still learning. I see your videos of the tiles chipped.
And today, when I have no power in my outlets and everybody's blaming the other guy, one guy's blaming the guy who did the paper on the wall. The other guy saying, no, it was the original guy who had hamming. I tried today, go, George. Tell me. Not away. So there you go, But so that's kind of like so I'll explain about the real estate and the lawyer thing as well. But that's how I got started. So then I ended up buying 2 apartments from her, watching House Hunters. I was like, look, I keep going to DR, then I don't go, then I go. I was like, if I have a place to go, I'm always going to go, which I did. Then I met somebody like end of 2016 to 2017, and I started coming down here every month, started being with her. I ended up having a restaurant in Sosua for a while, lost a ton of money on that one. And then, we moved to Punta Cana because she knew about Punta Cana. I never thought about moving to Punta Cana. When I realized I didn't want to be in Sosua Cabarete anymore, I was like, okay, well, let's go to Santiago, because that's all I ever knew. I started in Santiago in 2004, and I'm comfortable there, so I'm vamos para allá. And she was like, no, I can't get work there, because she spoke English very well, and she's a realtor in Sosua also. So what do you call it? But we ended up at that time going to Punta Cana, and she showed me the village. She showed me the life in Punta Cana, Playa Blanca and everything. And I was like, oh, okay. Because when I had come here on vacation, like 2011, like twice or something, it was still Monte Culebra. It was like nothing here, So I just thought it was nothing here because people on other sides, and you see this in the expat groups a lot, people that have not been here in 10 years, and they're like, that's Disneyland. There's nothing there. Yeah, maybe 10 years ago, but maybe even 7 years or 5 years ago, but not any longer, right? So I got to learn all of that stuff here, and I fell in love with, because it's beach, but it's a city as city as beach gets here in the Dominican Republic. So it was the right atmosphere for me. And having the highway, being able to fly into Santo Domingo. I'm a city kid. I live in Santo Domingo on the weekends, you know. I love the city. I love Santiago. I love Santo Domingo. That's where I'm most comfortable. That's my environment, you know. I like the beach and everything. I'm here and I love living in Punta Cana, living in the marina. But in my heart of hearts, I'm a city guy. I love just driving around the city, going to bars, restaurants, nightlife. You know, I have my friends there. And that's what it is like most of my life. So my life is not the typical expat life. I work with expats all the time, but my personal life, besides a few friends that I have that I play golf with and we get together here in Cana in the village or whatever, I would say 95% of my life in the Dominican Republic is either with Dominicans or Venezuelans, you know, or other people that might be from Mexico, wherever they may be. I don't really like my social circle is mostly Dominicans, upscale Dominicans. And I'm really big on that. I talk about that in all my videos. You need to be with people in your social circle that are on your economic circle. And I learned a lot of that too, also going to Panama, going to Colombia, and I've learned how to stay safe. You know, because I have a friend of mine from Colombia and we go back and forth all the time. I actually thought of buying a place there one time in Medellin and, you know, in the future and being around him more. And I realized, no, besides a quick vacation there where I'm low key, I have no business living in Medellin. It's not for me. Colombia is not for me because of the way things are. And, you know, we go back and forth on that. But here, if you know how to stay within that circle because, you know, I was talking to him actually last night, right? Because he jokes around with me. He'll send me like an article of something that happened here in the hood. And he'd be like, look, you guys are doing the same thing. What's really, really important, I feel like in the Dominican Republic, is to understand that if you don't want problems, right? We're not talking about problems with like, you know, people fixing things for you and doing work and paying them for a job and things like that. When we're talking about like, you don't want to get involved in any dangerous problems in this country, it's really very simple. Stay with people within your own economic level, with your own educational level, and you're going to be fine. It's when you try to bring somebody that from the colmado to your house and you think that person's going to appreciate hanging out with you and they're just looking at you as a meal ticket. You know what I mean? And that's how I've seen a lot of the stories. You've seen this, you know, the guy that's got a house and okay, he may be low key, but you can tell the guy's got money and he invites these people that he meets at the local beach, at the local bar, trying to be cool and integrated. And next thing you know, bad stories happen. I haven't had those kind of stories happen because I have jewelry. Look, you see me, I go around with jewelry. I'm like, I drive a nice car. I drive dress nicely. And I never worry about those kind of things because I don't go to those kind of places. I'm not interested in the hood. I'm not interested in that. You know, and I do understand some people, that's where they're at and it's no problem. But for me, my personality, like my personality doesn't work in Medellin. If I was to live in Medellin, I'd have problems. I'm too flashy. The way I talk, even if I dumb it down, you know, I put a picture up and I was dressed in all black with this watch, which is nothing. It's like a $2,000 watch. And they're like, oh my God. And I was like, wait, okay, if that's going to be an issue, I'm sorry, man, but I just can't live here. You know what I mean? I'm not putting on a $20 Casio like my friend. He's a cop. He's a Marine. He puts a $20 watch to go down to Medellin. And I'm like, if you got to do that, Rambo, I'm like, what the hell am I going to do? You know what I mean? I don't know all of that stuff you do. You know what I mean? Kill people with a finger and you're wearing a Casio. No, buddy, I got to stay here with safe. But you got to stay within your, like me, because of how I live and where I live. Could you imagine if I meet a bunch of motoconcho guys and I bring them to my house here? What do you think? Something's not going to happen. Things are not going to go missing. They don't care about you. Latin America, I want to make a very good point that I've made in some of my videos. You have to understand the power of growing up with somebody in Latin America. In Latin America, the family nucleus, like the family circle, is so powerful, and so is the friendship circle. But to be friends with people, if you didn't go with them in middle school, junior high school, college, if you guys are not friends desde chiquito, it's very hard for you to become real friends. You might be very good acquaintances, but you're not real friends. Now, with people in the upper echelon, you know, you become friends, social circle, that's cool, whatever. But with those people from the hood, if you think you're going to get in there and you're going to be that nice gringo and they're going to be like, oh my God, this expat's so cool. No, you didn't grow up with them. You don't have any roots. You're on the upside. You know what I mean? You're like leaves on the top. You don't have those deep roots with those people. So they'll never see you like that. And you have to understand that that's the rules of engagement. That's the rules of friendship. That's the rules of family, of how things work. And once you understand that, then you know your limitations with people. It's very, you know, I said a lot of times people don't have limitations with the people they meet here in the beach, in the street, in the colmado, in the bar, and whatever the case may be. You really have to have those limitations and to protect yourself because nobody else is going to protect you here. If that makes sense.
No, dude, you know what? I don't know if I should tell this story, but it's, you know, I love talking to guys like you because the street knowledge and the first time I came to Sosua was 30 years ago. And I came with, 15 Remax agents from my office. So like I said, we used to roll together. We had good times. We stayed at Casa Marina. We went out, and I got a real lesson in international travel quickly because I never left my Niagara region hardly. I went to Toronto a bunch of times, lived there for a bit and stuff like that. And I've been out west, I've been to Vegas and stuff like that. But down here, it was completely different. And when I told my brother I was skipping for DR, he goes, well, that doesn't surprise me. I go, why? He goes, Jimmy, do you not remember going there? How much you loved it? Dude, you bought the Spanish tapes when you were coming home. You were going to have a Dominican wife and a family. And I'm like, oh, shit, yeah. And then when I returned to Sosua, it was nothing like what I remembered. Basically, because of the culture's the same. The women are completely different. Oh, and I got a bad crop. I'm trying to do this on the fly. Holy cow. I'm not. Have you done this before? I'm talking to myself. Sorry. Anyway. So, I'll share a story. There's a kid that I make time with the kids. I love the kids. Back home, if there's 10 people in a room and a kid walks in the door with their parents, they focus on me. I can't tell you why. Kids and animals, especially cats, because I'm allergic. Love kids. I don't have them. I make time. I talk to them like they're adults. All of them. And I make eyes at the little ones in the cashier line in the grocery store. I play staring contests, whatever. I'll walk up. Some lady will be holding a little tiny baby. I'll walk up. I go, hi, and the mother always says hi, and I always go, I'm not talking to you. Hi, I'm like talking to you. What's your name? The mother always says hi. It's a great. I'm obsessed with them. So there's a kid out here. I make time with the kids. I'm not going to name them. There's 3 or 4 of them here with their mother, if they're playing with their boys or whatever. I always make time for them. Always, 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 because I learn something from them every time, right? It doesn't matter what country you're in. The kids are the teachers.
Right.
So I get it in my mind. I see them, 3 of my boys. They're 10, 11, I would say. They're halfway to being a man almost. You know what I mean? And usually I like the smaller ones, like not too small, like their head falls over. I like them 2 and 3 when they're learning how to walk and talk, and they say stupid things, and you love it, and you're like, oh, don't ever say it properly because that means the end of your childhood. 5 and 6, teeth start coming in all different ways. They're awkward and they're lanky and they're not cute anymore. But, these 10-year-old boys, whatever, I bust them, I shake their hand, I teach them how to shake a hand. But more than shake their hand, when they shake my hand, I make sure, look in my eyes, make sure you're standing. If you're sitting down, get up, squeeze my hand, look in my eye, and shake it. And I'm telling you, this one kid, he comes up to me all the time. You see, Jimmy. You run across it, and he wants to shake my hand. I go, perfect, bro. You got it down. He's so proud that he knows how to shake a hand now, right? So I get in. They're playing right outside my window, right, in the backyard. I get it in my mind. I'm going to go tell the kid, let's go ask your mom if I can take you for pizza. Well, I can't take just one. I'll take you all. We'll go right down here to Susan's. I got a car. Whatever. So we go up. We ask his mom. She looks at me like I got 3 heads, but says yes. I said, I'll be right down here at Susan's. I'll watch him. I got a car, whatever. And then we go to the other kid's place. I give the guy my real estate card. I'm like, hey, and go for pizza. We brought him, the kid said, can I take a piece home for my father? I'm like, dude, absolutely. I felt like ordering more pizza at that point, right? So I took, we hammed it up, and, a couple of kids speak pretty good English. The guy that I know the best, he doesn't speak hardly any English at all. So that pizza, 2 pizzas, well, I rolled over a rock too, did what would have been about $4,000 damage in Canada. My buddy's rental car, right? I'm like, bro, I got this, that. He says, settle down, send me a video. 7,500 pesos, $140. I roll over this big rock. It tore the fender, the door panel, the fairing off, mashed up, good. Inside the wheel well, $140. Anyway,
that's cheap.
We got 2 pizzas. I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. I drank pop, and that pizza caused me so many problems.
Why?
Well, because let's just say, there's one of the kids' family members said, "What do you want to hang around 10-year-olds for? It's weird. What are you doing? Don't do that."
They're not used to, like, I guess, going out
No,
for pizza.
like gringo, no kids. Like, what do you like? When you think about it in this world, but I thought we were over. Like, I thought that didn't exist. I thought it was the '70s, the wild. Well, you said the Wild Wild West, but it's the Wild West. The song is the Wild Wild West. So I always bust everyone every time, because an idiom came in, a song became popular, and the Wild West. What we used to say is the Wild West, and I say, "Oh yeah, it's the Wild West down here." Everyone now says it's the Wild Wild West. Copyright infringement. So, anyways,
From the song,
anyway,
yep.
I don't think of it like that, and you got to, you can't, like, whatever. And, I'll find another place. I don't need it to be, taking kids for pizza. I just thought it was a nice gesture. We got 2 big fat pizzas, and this pizza's like, dude, when you come to Sosua, if you don't eat at Susan's and try their pizza, her husband's a Paisan, and she's beautiful, and she's got great staff. And the pizza, it's like thin crust, beautiful, unbelievable.
Oof,
but
I'm a pizza guy.
the culture, anyways, it's a long story to say. I'm looking to make a difference. I want to give back. I want to, I want to mentor kids. I want to teach them how to shake hands and stand up when a woman enters the room or gets up from the table at the restaurant. Like, be a man. Because so many of them don't have none of these kids. I don't know about the third kid, but I know 2 of the 3 of them don't.
It's because
They don't have fathers.
They
They don't. And
teach here.
they might have
Especially,
grandfathers or whatever. But anyways, there's the lack of mentorship, and I'll find. Like I said, I'm not going to let it break me, but it. Yeah, you gotta think like differently when it comes to that stuff. But anyways, I love the culture down here. I love the men. Especially, what is it about Dominican men when they smile? They're always smiling, and when they smile, the street lights up. It's nuts. And the women, not so much. But I love the Dominican men. They look like they're always happy. And I see guys busting balls on the side of the road. You think they've known each other for 20 years. Turns out there's just strangers hanging out on the corner waiting for a motoculture ride.
Well, that's part of, I think, what the culture that people like here. It's a very warm culture. Like, people are like, and I know, like, if you ever see me in person, a lot of that is rubbed off on me, right? Because the people that have actually, like, people that maybe know me but haven't seen me in a while, or people that just see me online, but when they see me in person, they're like, holy shit, because I'm like that. I make jokes everywhere, supermarket, everywhere I go, I talk to everybody. I got, and that's what the culture is like. It's a very, like, vacilón, it's like a very, like, a happy-go-lucky. Maybe that's the best way I can put it. It's a very happy-go-lucky culture, and that's what people like about it, because not every island in the Caribbean obviously has the same culture, and that, and not every place in Latin America is the same way. Not every Latino it acts, that has the same kind of parties. Like, if you go around through Latin America, like, I go to Panama all the time, right? And Panama, I love Panama, but Panamanians are very, 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 like, conservative in the way they act. You know what I mean? It's very like, okay, sure, sir, thank you, okay, no problem. Even if you go by their colmados, you go by their parties. Like, I go there, I'm in the rooftop, and like 2:00 in the morning, people are going home. I'm like, what? Here, we just be getting started. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. It's the culture of that happy-go-lucky Caribbean culture. It's the staple of the culture here.
Cool, man. Tell me
And I
about
think people really do like that. It attracts people.
I posted it to your group. Your group is crazy, man. Somebody will post something innocent on the group, and I'm like, oh, that's blood in the water. They don't know what they just did to themselves, and then everyone comes at them, and they're like, whoa, what just happened here? And then you got the people go, would you guys relax? What's your problem? He just said, like, where can I rent a car? How can you find that to be racist?
I don't know. People are just, listen, when you're doing stuff on social media, right? You're going to get, and it's hard. I've had people ask me, they're like, how do you do it? And it is hard. There are days that I just don't do content because it's just too much. I've got to, what do you call it? I've got to, like, regroup mentally for it, because you're getting hit from all angles. Like, the other day I did a video about out here, Banco Santa Cruz. They asked me for a free guy. I said, I go in with your passport. I always recommend going in with your passport everywhere, because they're always asking me for ID. The one day I leave it in my car, they ask me for it, right? So go in with your ID and go in, and they ask me for, what do you call it, for a cedula, for the system or whatever. And I was like, forget it. I was like, I'm not, and they're like, oh, it's 4:00. They didn't want to do it anymore work. So I was like, look, I'll just have my insurance company send it to me. I don't have to go through this. And people were attacking me. No, I've gotten it for many, many years, and I didn't have to do a cedula. And I'm like, you're right. but I'm also right. It just depends where you go. And, that's what I'm trying to show you, the inconsistencies of how things work here. People were like, no, if you're going to put information, I'm telling, I literally had screenshots in the morning. I reached out to my bank person, and I mean, I cut her name out of it, but I put screenshots of her saying, yeah, well, the system is like this and da 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 da. So I'm showing you my story, right? I'm sharing with you my story.
Yeah, and it's
Now, you have
actually
a
good
different
content.
version
Make
of it.
sure you get there before 4 o'clock was the lesson in that video. I even got that message.
And but it's bullshit. You know why? Because I have another friend who works at a bank in Sosua, and she said, no, it's like what they have to do is the system is always running, but they have to input all the information for the marbete. So they want to cut you off at 4 so they can get out of there at 5. That's basically how I understood it. You know what I mean? So no, they could do it at whatever time they want to. And they should have done it for the people that were in the bank at that time. But like, I'm not dealing with it, man. Like I have zero patience when it comes to certain things. I'm just like, you know what? If you don't want to do it today, that's cool, man. I mean, no me importa, man. Like I get it. I just call them up and they UPS, no UPS, they what do you call Uber it to my house or whatever the case is, and I don't care. You know what I mean? But it's just I just show people that it's hard. So you can say tomato, they'll be like, no, tomato, and you're like, okay, it's tomato. No, but really, it's tomato. There's nothing. When it comes to doing stuff online, you're gonna constantly. I get people, you're full of shit. You're this. Okay, then don't listen to my content. It's really simple. I'm here for the people that want to learn. That want to learn from my experience. And that's why I started documenting recently a lot more to show people. Because sometimes I tell people a story and they're like, this guy's full of shit. I'm like, no, I'm going to show you as it's actually happening so you can see what I'm going through. So you understand why I'm aerodynamic and have no hair. It's just that's how it is. And I also show people the good stuff. I love having fun here. I have a great time here. And I'm showing people also a different lifestyle. And the thing is, I'm very well aware that my lifestyle is not the norm. It's like I live in the upscale places. I hang out with upscale Dominicans. Most expats, I mean, you know a lot of expats. Do you know expats that are like in rooftops in Santo Domingo that are hanging out? Like, for me to hang out with a bunch of people that have Tahoes and Reluxes and, they live in towers with doormen and pools and gyms and, I don't know, whatever, restaurants in their buildings and stuff. It's a normal thing. You know what I mean? I know people who have multiple properties here and they have, assets and things like that. Not everybody is the Motoconcho guy from the Colmado that's like, hey, my friend, I want to be your friend. Will you give me some help? Not everybody's like that. There are a lot of different people here. And I just happen to be in that circle because I've grown up with Latinos my whole life. So I don't see it as like, I didn't come here to be like looking for Indios, like I say sometimes. Some of these people, like they live in La Loma del Culo, they're like, oh God, everybody, they have this one picture in their mind of the people here. I'm not saying that they're not people like that here, right? In the more poverty-stricken areas, in the campos and stuff like that, of course, you can't deny that. But I live a different life, and I'm trying to showcase the life that I live. And my lights don't go out. I go to really nice restaurants, really upscale places, just like the States, Miami, just like anywhere else. I don't deal with the gripes that people have. My gripes are more business related, like I always say. They're not related to, and we've been doing business with people doing shady stuff or whatever. But my gripes are not like my living situation. I don't have problems with my lights. I don't have problems with my water. I mean, except for like the water pressure in a new building, it's a different thing with the constructora. But I don't like, I live much better here than I did in the States. I'm from New York City. You can pay $4,000 a month. And you got 4 walls in New York. You know what I mean? You don't got nothing. You got an old Freddy Krueger looking laundromat in your basement for $4,000 a month. So it's not even about the money. It's about what you get for the money. So I try to show that to people, and sometimes people think I'm full of shit because they think that everybody that comes here is like living above a colmado, which I did live above a colmado in Santo Domingo. That was my first apartment, but it's very nice. The owners were very puppy, and they made it really nice and everything. But yeah, I've done it all. You know what I mean? I've lived everywhere. And that's what I try to show people, my life here, and I'm also able to integrate with educated people here. I don't need to lower myself I don't need to find the dumbest person in the barrio so I could feel like I'm just like, I belong. You know what I mean? I'm okay in a social circle where, people have real executive jobs and they're politicians and maybe they're top cops or maybe whatever. They're significant people in the country, in this country, right? That's the people and I can hold my own in that conversation wise. I know a lot about the politics that go on here, business that goes on here. So I have a lot that I can talk about and relate to these people. And I do understand that not everybody could do that. And some people may not feel comfortable going to a restaurant right now. You're in Santiago, Santo Domingo, and you're in a restaurant. And for the next 5 hours, we're hanging out and we're drinking and we're smoking cigars and nobody says a word of English. Mm-hmm. That's not for everybody. And I don't translate things in my head. I talk and I'm just super animated in Spanish and I'm just the same kind of person all the time. So I try to show that to people that there is a difference when you assimilate to that. I'm really big on assimilating wherever you go. Even when I go to Colombia, I change my Spanish a little bit to try to, because they don't understand a lot of the stuff that I say from here. They just like, oh, what the hell is he talking about? And different words mean different things. So I always try to assimilate to where I'm going out of respect. That's how you show respect. You don't say, I'm respecting everything. I don't have to say it. I show it in the way that I act with the people, the way I interact with the people, the way, just even the culture. I mean, if anybody knows me, give me a bottle of rum and a typical party and I'm lit for till tomorrow. You know what I mean? And it's not because I just learned about that now. I've been doing that since I was 15 years old. So for me, that's just like any given Friday. You know what I mean? So that's what I try to show people. I try to show them a different way of when you really assimilate. And it's not assimilating because you want somebody to call you leader, jefe, mi amigo, and all of that kind of stuff. No, that's not, for me, that's not what I'm there. It's you assimilate because you have things in common with the business. Like I have businessmen friends here. And when we talk about business and we talk about the economy, we talk about politics and we talk about these things, the good, the bad, and the ugly, we're on that same educational field and that same field of like knowledge regarding what's going on and what's moving in this country. And that's not for everybody. But if you assimilate and you work at that, you can be anywhere. Anybody can do that anywhere, whether it's here, Colombia, Panama, Venezuela, no sé, Mexico,
You got a good mix going on, that's for sure. Tell us about the podcast. Can you talk about it?
Yeah. So basically right now, if you guys noticed, I'm going a lot harder with just, promoting my brand and who I am to get the message out, to more people. I got the Mario Fama at their website. I haven't pushed it a lot because I'm doing some really cool stuff, and you guys will see it over the next month. It is time consuming, but I'm doing some really cool stuff to help everybody. Whether you like me or not, you're gonna like the website and you're gonna like what it has to offer. So I'm doing that. I'm gonna launch the Mario Fama podcast. I also have a real estate, since obviously I'm in real estate. But if you notice it, I'm in real estate. I give opinions regarding real estate, but you never really see me pushing my product to people. I'm not like that. You want to do business with me, great. If you don't, work with somebody else. All I ask is work with somebody that's professional. Work with somebody who's real. Because that's the number one issue here. People pick the guy who's gonna got the hookup, man. I got the hookup, papa. And that hookup is never really the hookup. You know what I mean? Deal with professionals or whatever, with professional people. That's my advice when it comes to that. I don't push it. But I'm gonna also be doing I want to do a comedy show, like a skit. It's going to be called Broker Heaven. It's actually, it was a school in New York City. My late great mentor, Greg Young, had a school called Broker Heaven that brokers would send their agents to, and we as managers would go there for also every 2 weeks. We would go there and get mentorship and everything. So this is going to be like skits, it's going to be just like, something focusing on all the funny things in real estate and the Dominican spin to it of what we deal with as brokers here in the Dominican Republic. So I've got a bunch of cool ideas in my head. I mean, I want to write shows. I really like stuff like that. I have it all in my head. People are like, how do you come up with this? It's right here all the time,
Have you seen
and
Broke Agent? Have you seen Broke Agent?
Yeah. I watch all that stuff.
BAM Media has become a little bit of a force, and his media company is doing a hot sheet every day where they talk about the national situation, and he's got a good crew, and he's a brilliant dude. Like, his marketing was off the charts. I've got Broke Agent shirts. I wear them all the time. One of my girlfriends says, Jimmy, don't wear that shirt. I'm like, why? It's my favorite shirt, dude. It says Broke Agent. It's got his brand on it. And I'm like, well, if I stepped out of like a Countach, are you going to tell me not to wear that shirt? Like, it's all about.
Well, if they don't know what it is, it sounds like you're a broke agent. Yeah. But it's cool. I mean, I want to do some funny stuff here. Yeah. Real estate is here to stay, right? And it's growing in the Dominican Republic. Okay. So whether people like it or not or whatever, the one thing I and all professional brokers want is licensing. And I stick to what I say all the time. Licensing does not make a good, great, bad, whatever agent. You're good, great, bad, whatever, because of who you are and the effort you put into the business. But what it does, it creates a barrier, and sometimes it's financial. It's time and financial. Time if you have to do a course, and or financial if you have to pay. I think that anybody who wants to be a real estate agent should pay $1,000 for their real estate license, and a broker should have to pay $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to get a license to kind of weed out all the crap that we have here. I'm all for it, There is an association of brokers here. It's very complicated. They don't let you in unless you have like a permanent residency or whatever, which would exclude so many agents and so many business owners here, which doesn't make sense. And even within the association, I've spoken to them. Some of them don't even know that they have that rule. So, ya tú sabes, organization-wise, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. But I would like that to come in just to protect the people from the crazy agents. I mean, I know people that put up, there, I've been in real estate for 7 years, 10 years, but you're like 22. 21. How did you work? What were you sitting there playing, video games, eating Cheerios and selling apartments? Come on, Johnny. You know what I mean? So it's just that it lets anybody do and say anything without any recourse here. The only laws are the laws that are like regular standard civil laws, and those ya tú sabes. So what do you call it? I'm all for it. I'm all for it when it comes to doing that, to really, but real estate here to stay. So what I want to do is I want to do some cool shows to make fun of, what we do, bring it to light and just kind of joke around and, when it comes to that. But also I want to help people. I just share my stories, and I want people just to see what I go through. Because I also, like I said, I have a different life here. I'm involved, so many different things. I could be in Corrales one day, then I'm in Cap Cana at night, then I'm in Santo Domingo, and in Piantini or Bella Vista the next day. Then you'll see me in Santiago, in Villa Orga, or whatever. I go all over the place. So because of all the people that I'm involved with my lifestyle, I try to show people a little bit of that so they can see what it's like, Because even Santo Domingo, I show that lifestyle. Some people are like, oh, I just thought Santo Domingo was just traffic and everything was ugly and bad. No, there's a lot of great stuff there. But if it's not, you got to speak Spanish and you got to be really integrated to see those things. Otherwise, you're going to constantly be on the outside. It's like if I went to China right now and I speak Chinese, I wouldn't know anything that's going on there.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. Well, you sell it really well, like the South Coast, right? Like I'm a small town guy. I'm a country boy. I prefer to be on 5 acres at the top of the hill with goats and chickens and whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's my thing. I function very well in the big cities because I've done those circuits. And when you're talking about the dinners, well, apart from 5 hours of no English, I don't do that very much. Yeah. And so, but here, because I came here first and I don't get out that much, I've been lost during this and that end and not much. And yeah, it's a great spot. I got another Remax friend of mine that's down there and she does pretty well. And the beaches are great and it's packed with motos. Holy mackerel, it's Moto City. But the big city, as soon as high season's over, I'm coming down. I'm going to check it out and heard so much about it. And everyone goes there. All my friends, when they go for a vacation, are going to your coast, not my coast. But I like my Sosua. I like my small town thing. But and it's been 2 years, so I need to get out. But you sell it really well. And, I appreciate the information, even if it's, go to the bank before 4 o'clock because they don't want to input till 5. I get it. I'll be there at noon. Thank you. I'm grateful for it. So, and I think the broker heaven's genius. That's right up the broke agent alley, and you could run that into whatever you wanted. So good on you, brother. I'm glad to get touched up with you, and all the links are in the show description.
And one more thing. So one more thing that I'm doing that I want to share with everybody.
Let's just watch
one more really important thing.
Hang on 1 second. Let's watch you do the what's it called? The dirty word Spanish. Yeah, let's play this on the way out, and then you can hit whatever you want. You can take as long as you want, but this seems like a good time to take a little break. Here we go. This is cue it up. I'm not going to say it's your best work, but this was gold. You've got some good shit, man. Like it takes when I watch my stuff back, I'm hilarious. I know that, but it takes a lot for me to go, oh, that was funny. To make myself laugh is a really tough. I'm a tough room, but. I don't know what it is. I think I'm just gonna man crush on you. Anyways, here's my boy. One of my favorite skits. Your mic's up, by the way, and play.
Good morning, fellow Expatagonians. It's your boy Mario Fama RD, aka Yo soy Blanco, pero no soy Banco. And today we're going to do an episode of Spanish for Gringos. Now, today's word of the day is going to be a naughty, naughty, bad word. Just like in life, things are good, things are bad. So I've been giving you guys good words, but I got to give you guys a naughty, naughty word. And this naughty word is one of my favorite words. It's a word that I hold very dear to my heart. It's very special, very special. Love it as much as I love pizza, which is saying a lot. And the key to saying this word is saying it with passion, with fire in your heart. You got to mean it. If not, just use a different word. What's this word, Mario? Well, this word is coño. Now, one of the most common, mispronunciations of the word coño is coño. People break it down into 2 syllables. Oh, coño, and they try to curse it out. Oh, what happened there, coño? No, it's one word, coño. You gotta feel it. You see that, coño? Like you just gave a guy a deposit for some drapes for your house, and 3 months later he still hasn't delivered, and now he barely answers your call. Coño! A motorcyclist hit the back of your car and realized you're a gringo, and now threw himself on the floor in an Oscar-worthy performance and wants money. Coño! Coñazo. Also is coñazo. Now people ask me, what does that mean, Mario? Well, if you look it up online, it says a biological female's reproductive part down there, but I never thought of it like that. And some words I just don't even try to translate to English. I mean, we're always trying to translate. Why? There's some words that I just feel have their own special, je ne sais quoi, you know, in their native language. Coño is kind of like, for me, like mother flower, shite, and fudge all rolled into one. Somebody pisses me off, like the way they drive, they cut me off, coño, coñazo. And then you add some other fun curse words behind that. But you gotta say it from your heart. You gotta say it like you really mean it. Otherwise, don't use that word. Use a different word. You know what I mean? And you gotta say coño. It's like a sharp. It's like a sniper. You know, like think of it like a samurai putting out his sword really quickly and cutting somebody in half. Tiger bazooka ge coño. I say coño. You gotta come out like that. You gotta feel that shit. And people that know me know that's my favorite word. That's one of my favorite words. I say it probably about 467 times an hour because people stress me out. People
Dude, you did a music bed underneath this thing?
And they stress you out in life, don't
Oh,
they?
you did. You
they
muted
do
it.
that. So
Okay.
that's when you get to use the most wonderfulest word in the world to describe shit, how you feel at that moment. Coño, coñazo. Don't forget about coñazo.
Don't forget about it. You forgot about it when I asked you today. What do you say after coño? What?
It's not coño.
No.
There's no coño. The mouth
Coñazo.
pronunciation teaches you how to say words in different languages. I actually, instead of just hearing a word, a lot of times how I learn the language is the lips. I look at the lips and I look at where the sound's coming from. You've heard me say that in a lot of different videos. So you see the difference. Look, coño. That's how you're going to get that magical sound for one of the bestest words in the whole wide world. Bye.
Bye. What a geek. You know what? I put you, you can't really see, you can tell you're smiling, but I put your your Zoom picture up in the screen. You can't see what's broadcasting, but your teeth are lighting up the screen the whole time. You're just so happy with your performance there, man.
Happy with the dentist. He's on the website, by the way, guys.
Yeah,
if you go to
I heard about your
I have his information right there.
How
on the
much did that
dentist.
grill cost you?
$18,000, but I did every single tooth in my entire mouth. I did veneers. I did like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 crowns. I did an implant. I really did my whole entire mouth because I was do-over. I did work when 20 years ago.
This is genius broadcasting right here. I just paused it on your still of that grill. 18 G's. You got the best of the best. Tell me about it. How, what's involved?
So basically, my dentist, is super great. He's in Santiago. He does all the Arturo Fuente guys. He does all these big people, famous people. And he has the lab on site. So what I've learned is if you go to a dentist that doesn't have the lab on site, they got to send stuff out and go back. You're going to be there forever. You're going to learn how to cry. So what you want to do is you want to make sure they have the lab there. And he literally within 2-3 days or whatever, depending on the scale of your work, I had a full mouth to do.
Right.
I started that same day in the chair. I put a deposit right there. He gave me the call. I said, let's do it. And let's say it was like a Friday or Thursday or Friday, something like that. And I'm trying to remember how it was. But by Monday, I had the general stuff done. And then obviously you have to do tweaks and things like that. Yeah, super. Because they make them right in the lab right there. They make
Don't you have to
crowns,
do it in
everything.
stages? Don't you have to get the implants in and let it heal?
The implant's different. The implant, I had to do a pole and I had to wait. But that was in the back. The rest of everything, no, veneers were going up right there.
Oh,
Everything was
you
just-
don't do. Oh, okay, 18,000. So what do they do? What's the thing? They put 4 poles at the back and everything else sticks to it?
No, every tooth is individual.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. So no, just the pole was just for the one
Well,
implant.
how
that I
many
needed
implants
here.
you got?
One.
Oh.
Yeah, in the back, I lost it during. I had a bad in New York City. They gave me a bad root canal, and during COVID, being stuck in my house,
hang on.
it kind of fell
to
apart.
Put an
yeah, he did a really bad job.
Okay. Well, I guess I don't
So I
understand.
had to, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But I did everything. All of this is veneers. Then all of this is crowns, tons of crowns. I hated the dentist growing up, and I'm still fearful of needles. I hate needles. I'm terrified of needles. I literally cry. Like I have tears coming down my eyes a lot of times when I go to the doctor. But I had to do it, and he was great about it. Super fast, painless.
No,
Even the implant was painless, which I'm like, oh snap, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, come on, dog, it's gonna hurt, man, come on, you lying to me, it's gonna hurt. And he did it, and he's great. He's just, it's just a life changer, because I suffer from bruxism, I think it's called. So my teeth were just like worn down. You can see some of my pictures on social media. I left obviously all my old pictures. I've had pictures for the last 10, since Facebook has been up. I have pictures, right. And in my Instagram also. And it's just changed the entire how I look, how people see me. I recommend it, and I'm grateful that I ran into him, through people that I knew in Santiago. They sent me to him. I said, I want the best. And I went to the best. He gave me the quote, and right there we started working on it. And for me, it was easy because they didn't really have to shave down my teeth or anything, with the bruxism ruined them so badly that he was like, okay, we're just gonna pass the thing on so it has grip, and that's it. Flop. And they do it. They make them right there. If they have to change the tooth, they'll be like, oh, come back in the afternoon, and the tooth is whatever done or whatever, the veneer or the crown and everything. And they do it all computerized, digital, all this Hashitashi 5000 stuff, and it was just great. So I was super, super happy with that. And that's that's just a life changer. And I really did not like my teeth before. Mm-hmm. And people on social media were nice enough to point that out. Like bullies.
Tell me, how do you handle, you talked about the regrouping. I've been a broadcaster for a long time. I did a radio show, loved it. Oh, there's nothing like a newsroom and a radio station, man. Like, I just grooved in that place like crazy. It lasted about a year and a half or something like that. And they fired me over my best bit. And, political interviews, always a hard take. And I'm a lefty. I came from liberalism. I ran 10 times as a Green Party candidate. 8 times. And I ran for none of the above last time, my buddy's party. And I've run at every level. I ran for mayor to keep the mayor, one of the guys that was running, out. And the guy, my guy that was on city council that I wanted to win, lost. And it broke my heart. I haven't had a broken heart over an election because my first election was 93. I got 295 votes. I was the embarrassment of my family as a Green Party guy. And I came right. I came all the way to the right, or the center, really. But that's extremist right now. And, I've been doing this a long time. There's nothing in my closets. I do everything publicly. Pretty much. Everyone knows all my garbage. You know what I mean? Because I've done it, a lot of it out here. So I hear you talking about the regrouping, and, you're talking to a liar when they tell you, oh, I don't care what people think. Unless you're a psychopath, you care what people think. You care when people are kind to you, and when they're not so kind, you care. And when they say the shit that they say, and I was making fun of you, one of the first things I said, I'm like, dude, what's up with the pit bull comment? I'm sure you've heard that many times, right? How do you, I know it takes the stuff. I've been on the front page for 3 weeks in a row because I said bad words about a politician. I've been there. I know it's tough. How do you, is it, I guess it's worth it because you're doing it. Will you just take downtime where you're not thinking about it and you're not creating, or you're doing a different thing? I know it's hard to turn it off because you can't turn it off when people say how great you are. I'm one of those guys, and everyone I talk to loves you. And I run with a crew that appreciates your humor, and the people that don't, I don't get with them very often. You know what I mean? They're not my type. Hello. So anyway, how do you handle the criticism? Because dude, it's relentless. Every video you put up, you've got, and I know you know where it's coming from or whatever, but tell me about the effect on it, how you handle it, and what do? Just shut down? Go dark?
For a day, I never, I guess I'm pretty strong in that point. It does. How can I put it? It's not that you don't care, right? It's really weird. It's like I don't know what they call it, a conundrum. I don't know what I don't care, but I do care, right? Because nobody wants, people. And sometimes, when I put up the thing about the bank, and people are like, "You're lying." I'm not fucking lying. I'm telling you what happened. I have the text messages to show you, right? It's like common sense. Hello, and it does get to you. But I also, what I do is I'll shut down maybe for a day. Because I can't do these videos and I can't do what I'm doing right now if I don't feel creative. If I don't feel creative, look, I'll just take a day off, and then when I'm feeling better tomorrow, I'll do whatever, and then just something will happen, and I'll just go back. It's almost like a chain on a bike. It just gets caught back on, and I'm rolling with it, right? But it does happen, and it's just, I remember I was talking to, my friend Joanne, and, from your side of the town, and she said to me, she said, how do you do it? How do you do it? And I realized, I was like, you know what? If I'm going to do videos, if I'm gonna be out there talking to people and doing that stuff, it's just part of the game, man. Like everybody gets it. I'm not unique. You know, anybody who's online, anybody who's doing stuff gets criticized, right? You know, we're human beings. We criticize other people. We're very critical, and of ourselves sometimes, a lot of times, and of others as well. And sometimes we project our insecurities onto others, right? That's a very common thing.
Yeah, it's one
But
thing
I
to know
just-
where it's coming
it-
from for sure. Yeah, you know, if somebody you love is carving you, well, then it's just someone you love carving you. But I mean, you don't get that type of hate from people that really care that you're doing well and that you're going to be okay. So it always where it comes from, but that's the thing. It's where it comes from seems like the circle gets wider and wider. It's like, no, don't talk about my teeth. Oh, you're mean. That hurts.
Yeah. And it's 80-20. Look, you know what I say to myself? I'm going to tell you what I say to myself. I say to myself, Mario, you know this shit is 80-20. You know, like 80-20 is a universal law in everything in life. What you want to do is be up on the 80, down on the 20, right? If you're down on the 80 and up on the 20, then you got to do a lot of retweaking in your life, whatever you're doing, business, anything, right? But if you're 80-20, you gotta, it's like, all right, you gotta get the shit, man. The shit's got to come with it, right? So like, if you're in a sunny place like Punta Cana here, I know 20% of the time it's gonna rain. So I got to be prepared for that. Does it make you sad that it's raining? Oh my God, I'm depressed. It feels like Seattle, but you know it's going to happen. So you can't that's me, what I do. I know it's coming. When it hits me, I'm like, all right, I'm in the shit right now. Somebody just says something that pissed me off or whatever the case may be. And I am very defensive because the thing is this, what drives me to do this, right? You know what it is? It's PTSD. I have PTSD. I mean, people don't realize, moving to a different country where you don't speak the language fully. I mean, I keep learning the language also with you guys. I don't speak perfectly. Obviously, I make a lot of grammatical mistakes. I'm in that last stage of learning, but it's hard, man. And I look like a Russian hitman, so I can't even blend in. Some dudes from the States or Canada or wherever, they might look like pass for some kind of they might pass for Venezuela, they might pass for Mexico, they might pass for whatever. I pass for my name is Stoli. I am Uncle Stoli, Tovarish Stoli. That's what I look like. I can't knock that anywhere I go. And, I've had that happen too. Like when I was in Colombia and my boy was like, yo, you stand out on everything, bro. I'm like, but the way I dress, the way I act, the way I talk is one way, but because the way I look, I stand out, right? So that's what it is. And I got PTSD from all the drama, all the people, I've gone through having to sue 100 people trying to get me for money or whatever the case is. You build up a thick skin when it comes to that. And that's the way I am. I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't fuck you. I mean, no me importa. Like, yo, fuck it, man. I don't do shit wrong. I do what I got to do. I do the best that I can. And I'm here to do whatever. And if people are going to say shit, that's part of the 20%. I got to deal with it. Because I've been through so much PTSD. When you're involved in as many things as I am, living abroad, then you travel to other countries, you're in the shit all the time. It's like being on the front lines all the time. And you just got to toughen up. You got to toughen up or don't do it, right? Like I either got to, hey guys, it's been great. My shit is off and that's it. Or keep pushing through. You got to keep pushing through. And, I'm the same person. Like if you meet me and you talk to people that know me, they're like, dude, there's no difference between you online and in person. Like I talk to people.
My best friends
like,
are all like that. And that's something you get with me too. I talk to the kids the same way I talk to the adults pretty much. You know what I mean? Just, yeah. Yeah,
no, but it doesn't matter if I'm in the heart of DR. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if I'm around expats, I'm around my family and my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the heart of DR, disagreeing with some mechanic somewhere or whatever. I'm the same person, whether I'm up or down. I'm the same person. I talk to people the same way. I mean, no me importa nada. Like I just, and it's not because I'm like anything big. I'm so traumatized from everything. That's do your best, bro. The way I see it from people, I'm like, do your best, man. I've already seen everything. And if you're gonna show me something new, fuck it, whatever, But I just really I'm just like, yo, I'm just doing me, man. You know what I mean? And that's it. That's all I could do.
Nice. Would you want to hit on the way out before we played your video?
Oh, so I want to talk about one cool project that I have going on right now, which is a law firm. I'm going to be the spokesperson for the law firm. My attorney, my longtime friend and attorney and personal attorney and company attorney, and the person who listens to me every time I'm like screaming at the sky. I don't scream to God. I scream to Jesus. Jesus Martinez, that's my attorney. I'm not even kidding. That's his name. So we're starting the law firm of Martinez and Crestman. So Crestman is my alias name. I use Mario Crestman because I own Crest Group, the Crestman Group, the Crest, everything Crest. And people, my last name is ethnic, is Popovici, and nobody remember. Like, yo, dude, you're the Crestman guy. So I've been the Crestman guy for so many years that it's just kind of like became my name. You know what I mean? So, and I like the name. I created that name. I just for a business that I never like putting my name on stuff. I'm not one of those people. I need to see my first name or my last name on a business so I know I made it in America. I don't care about that kind of stuff. But so I kind of that's who that's who it is. It's like that's my Iron Man. What do you call it, persona? And we're starting a law firm, and the focus on law firms obviously we're working with everybody, but it is to protect expats. It is to help expats. Now, do we do real estate sales and things like that? Of course. But we also help people with everyday problems. And I have a lot of great things that I have coming with the law firm, hopefully in the next year, because it's something I've had on my mind for a very long time. And it just happened at the right time that my attorney and I were both ready to launch this project, because I see things that, obviously bother me because I'm super pro expat. Even though not all expats are nice, but no, not everybody's good and not everybody's bad, right? So I hate to see expats get taken advantage of. I see this in Colombia. I see this everywhere, right? We come in, we pump money, we work, we invest all of our hard-earned savings from another country. We do all these things, and we have no representation. Now, let me explain, because I'm from the other side of the coin where not everybody here is from. You come to New York City, if you're Asian, if you're Dominican, if you're from Burma, if you're from, I don't know, Germany, whatever, right? Wherever you're from, you've got a council person, you got a police officer, you've got an attorney, you've got a doctor, right? You've got people that were born in your country where you're from. We don't have that in Latin America. I see that, and I go to different Latin American countries. Show me Latin American countries where you can go and you see expat lawyers, police officers, judges, politicians, or everything. It doesn't exist. So we come in, and I find in general, expats to be very respectful of their host country. You don't see gang-ridden, bullet-ridden, drug-filled, barrios of expats anywhere that you go, right? So we come in and we invest money. We invest billions of dollars. Where people complain that the prices go up of everything when we touch down and we make everything more expensive and more exclusive or whatever. And we don't have really any help. And I've gone through with that. And there was a story that I saw in one of the expats groups the other day. In Puerto Plata, in the Rotonda right there, right in front of Jumbo, guy gets pulled over because one of his lights is out. It happened to me in cruising the Puente Flotante years back in my Ford Escape, where one of my lights was out. I had a problem with the electrical from when they did it in Puerto Plata, and it would just go off and I wouldn't know, right? And the guys, they threatened to take his car if they didn't give him money. They're like, we're going to impound your car. Now, I know the law now, and I know you can't do that. You know what I mean? You can give me a ticket for that, but you can't. If I have my license and my papers, you cannot take my car. It's legally, you're not allowed to do that, but they count on people not knowing that. And the person was like, oh, I just gave him some money. And I did the same thing once. I got a ticket. And they're like, oh, we'll let you go because I know how to talk my way out of it. But I see so many expats, and they don't have any help. You have an issue that you need to resolve with a landlord, with anything, right? Let's forget about the big money stuff in real estate. The regular stuff. Okay, now you need an attorney. How are you going to find that attorney? Somebody's got to recommend one. Hopefully you get along with them. You got to find out where their office is. Now you got to set up an appointment. You hope that they're actually there when you go up for the appointment. Now you're going to wait an extra 30, 45 minutes that they told you to come in at 12, and at 1 o'clock you get to see the attorney. Now you pay $5,000 to see him and talk to him and do what you have to do. And now you hope that with that $5,000 that you put in, that they're actually going to help you, and they're not going to just stop taking your call after you put the money down. So I've seen it's happened to me. It happened to me when I got hit in the back and I gave money to an attorney because I wanted to sue the guy because he didn't want to pay my deductible. And I was just like, I'm not going to have it. I'm not tolerating it. And the guy took the money and just and blew me off. So I went through this stuff. I want to help people because I've gone through it. You know what I mean? I'm not also the president, but I'm also a client because I still go through all that shit. You know what I mean? People try to take advantage. That's where yo soy blanco, pero no soy banco. That's a way of saying, yo, I'm not a pendejo. You know what I mean? I'm not here to be throwing all my money, all my savings out at you because I'm here, living in a different country. Carajo. That shit gets me pissed off. So I'm there to help people so they don't get taken advantage of. And it goes the same way to Dominicans because it's not exclusive to us, right? It happens. That's just, it's a dog-eat hustle culture, right? Everybody's hustling. Everybody's doing what they got to do. So it's not unique to us. It just feels different because you look different, you speak different, you might dress different. So it's even more magnified when it's with an expat. You know what I mean? But it's just the way it is. And I want to help people have some sort of protection that you can call an attorney. And we've done that. My lawyer has helped people in the groups. We're like, oh, my landlord wants to shut off my I don't know what or whatever. One phone call from the lawyer. Oh shit, yeah, we can't do that. They're gonna sue us because everything's pro-tenant. Okay, the mechanic doesn't want to give me my money back. Okay, let me call the mechanic. Let me resolve it. A lot of times people need things that just to be resolved and need a lawyer to call. You would be surprised how well it works when you have a professional lawyer call that doesn't sound like like that. Or even myself, I've had people that have to give me money, builders that have to give me money, they don't want to. When my lawyer calls or we do a notificación, which is like an intent to sue, all of a sudden, yeah, what's your account number for the transferencia? Ya tú sabes. You know, I have my lawyer on retainer. I have a lawyer on retainer. I joke around. I say I don't even go to the colmado without an attorney, but I'm not joking. Look at his face. I'm not joking, Kiki. You know, because that's what you got to do to make it happen. Yeah. It's a business hustle culture. You got to get into the game. If you're involved in that kind of stuff, if you're retired and you're chilling Cabarete East over there at the, what do you call it? You know, those nice condos they have with the little pool bar and everything, and you're just retired, you don't need any of the stuff I'm talking about. You're fine.
Victorian luxury condominiums, they don't have a swim up bar, but geez, $220
There's another
for a
one over there,
two-bedroom?
Cab East. I really like it. That has like a pool with a bar right by the beach and nice long apartments. I forgot what it is. I saw them all years back.
I should know what it is, but I've been obsessed.
It's before Victorian, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be
between
wrong.
Janet's and Victorian, or past Victorian?
I think so. It's one that's really, you come in as a parking lot and all the apartments come like this around
Ria
the
Del
pool.
Mar?
They kind of been, huh?
Ria Del
I think that.
Ria Del Mar.
I think that's the one.
Yeah,
and it had a pool and a little bar right by the pool.
Yeah, it is a cool spot. I got to get some listings in there.
That's a retiree.
Dude, you know what?
If I was retired,
I really get from you, brother. Much like me, no surprise that your purpose gets lit up when you're just connecting people, helping people, putting them with a good lawyer, making the call. I was just thinking as you're telling the lawyer story, but making a call, and I'm thinking, yeah, I wonder if my lawyer would make a call. I don't have that really. I just have a real estate lawyer and a damn good one, and but back home, I would ask my lawyer, hey, can you fire off a letter to these assholes? And he goes, Jimmy, I'm not firing off a letter, and it's going to cost you whatever, and unless you're threatening suit. I said, well, threaten suit then. Well, if you, like, you got to be, like, you have to sue if, I'm like, dude, you can't even write a letter for me? Forget make a phone call. So that's an interesting thing, and, like, I can just see your passion for helping people. So good on you, brother.
Well, that's what I do. I'm a connector, not only for like expats, but like people know, like even my Dominican friends that are maybe they're like Dominican ausentes. So these are Dominicans that were either born here and raised abroad or born abroad and they come here or whatever. They come to me for a lot of stuff. You need to find out where you can get these paperwork done. Well, go over there. You need a lawyer for this, or that over there. How does the bank work for financing, for cars, for mortgages, for this? Well, talk to that person. They can help you out. I need to set up a business. Talk to him. I need to get a gun permit. Go talk to that Maria right there. He'll get you the stuff. Like I just happen to meet so many people, and I'm so I'm outgoing. I'm super extrovert, right? So I meet so many different people, and though I go through a lot of bad shit, you got to go through bad shit here to meet good people, right? So I've gone through so much bad shit that I have my pick of good people that I can refer people to, and that's what helps. And I connect people all the time. I throw people business, interior designers, this person, that person. I that's what I do. I'm just a connector.
Oh boy, good on you, man. Well, I appreciate your time, and that's an hour and 11 minutes with all our skits, man. I appreciate the time.
Good stuff.
I'm going to see you in a few months when high season's over and my property management's taking all my time. But it's,
well, you're going to have to come be on my show when we shoot it in my office here.
Damn
the podcast.
straight, but I'm coming down there first. You can show me around before we do that. But hey, if you get her up tomorrow, I'll be your first guest. I'm on it. All right, brother.
Let's rock and roll.
Much love from the North Coast. Mario Fama. Everyone, Crestman Realty.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate your time, bro. Get off my screen. You exit. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. You. No, you.
Bye.
You. No,
Goodbye,
you.
shalom.
You hang up. No, you first. You hang up. I don't want to. No, don't. Don't take me. All right. Well, that's how you do that. If you're new to the Jim Fannin Show, my apologies, but that's what we do, and I appreciate the time with. What a character, man. I love characters. All my best friends are characters like that guy. Not like that guy. He's absurdly outgoing and extrovert, as he just said. But one of my favorite guys. And never met the guy. I'm going to meet him soon. I'm going to wrap my arms around that big lad, tattooed head to toe. I was like, when he wears shorts, it's like he's got a bodysuit on. What is your problem, man? Stop modifying your skin. Grow your hair back. I'm wearing a flat top, but I'm getting ready to be as bald as Mario Fama. Yeah, I like it. And now that it's not really hot, I can get this brown bean without getting scorched too much. But it's such a hassle being bald. You get the sweat in the helmet thing and sweat running in your face. It's amazing how much this stuff holds perspiration up here. Anyways, if you like what you see, share it around. If you don't, sorry. Peace, love, hug your neighbor. I am out. Maybe we'll go out with some more Fama. I'm gay for Gavin. Oh, Gavin's up. I'm 11 minutes late, so I'm not going to do this for long, but he's a good time. What do we got? Spanish word of the day. How to say bus. Okay, let's see what we got here.
Hello out there, fellow Expatagonians.
Okay, wait. So this dude, he's taking this shit seriously. He's putting musical beds down on all his stuff. He's got a watermark and he's got captions. This guy is not screwing around. I don't put effort into my shorts. You see my shorts on Dominican Republic channel on YouTube? And they're 9 seconds of not me.
It's your boy, Mario Fama, RD, a.k.a. no soy Blanco, pero no soy Banco. And today's Spanish word for gringos is guagua, una guaguita. Now, I hear a lot of people say guagua, guagua, wawa, wawa, or whatever. The correct word to say is guagua. It's a little bit fast. It kind of all blends in together. It's not a guagua, una guagua. And a lot of times, like the rutas, like here we have something in Punta Cana, Ruta Verón. They're like the smaller buses, maybe like 12, 15 people or whatever, 20 people here. We call those like guaguitas. Una guaguita is small, una guagua is big. The story behind that is there used to be the WAWA transportation company here in the Dominican Republic, and I think maybe other countries in Latin America as well. So it was Wawa Transportation Company. That's where the word Wawa comes from. But here it's written G-U-A, G-U-A, una guagua, guaguita. So you have to work on pronouncing that word as a whole. Voy a coger una guagua. Esa es una guaguita, not guagua, because that just sounds like how gringos say it, right? Guagua, una guaguita, una guagua, guagua. Guagua. It's almost like G-Way, G-Way, but fast. It's almost like wawa, but guagua, because you don't want to say wawa. You want to say guagua, una guaguita, una guagua. Voy a coger la guagua para Santo Domingo. Una guaguita para Santo Domingo. Bávaro Express es una guagua. Ruta Verón es una guaguita. And that's a Spanish for gringos today.
See, now I got something out of that video. And look at that grill. 18 G's American. In one day, walk out with new grill. Huh. That ain't so bad. I had a client the other day. He worked for a major studio in the States. And his teeth were so white they were blue. I have my original teeth. They're not white. But I need dental work. And I learned something. Guagua. Guagua? Guagua. Because I say guagua. Like a chooch. All right. Thank you to Mario Fama. Yo soy Blanco, pero no soy Banco. I'm out.